All right, so we're here with my dad, Fixie, and it is coming up on the 4th anniversary of pulling the steam shovel out, right?
Of removing it from the lake bed.
Yeah. So I guess what you just wanted to do was take a look at some of the progress over the last year.
Just kind of give an update of what has happened, how much we've gotten done in the last 4 years, and where we're headed. Kind of a timeline of when we think I'll be up and having the thing dig again. Want to just kind of point out some of the unique things that I've found so far on the internet that's really helped out the process of this really well. So just to touch on a few things like that. So and just give people have been asking for an update to know where we're at. So if we shoot something out there.
Yeah. So you've been so on top of working on the shovel, you've been doing a bunch of investigative, I guess, searches to find new information on the shovel or like find old artifacts and things like that. And so that's.
Yep, we'll get on that down in the video later. Got some pictures, stuff like that. With going to the Historical Society in Lorain, Ohio, and going to the old factory and stuff like that. So there was a lot of neat things happened here over just the course of this year. Not as much actual work done on the crane because I had a few things we got to start taking care of at home. So this kind of got put on the back burner for a little bit, but we did get made some headway on it.
Sure. So this first picture that we've got queued up, this is the shovel, right?
This is a picture of the shovel actually working in the bottom of Wixom Lake in 1924, when Charlie McKimmey was the owner of the machine and was down there running it, actually building the embankment that washed out. So it was kind of cool to find this at the Sanford Museum through their archives. I went through some photos and finally found one of my shovel working down there.
That's really cool.
And then this was 2 days after the water left, and my brother and I, 1 ton, we went down there to take a look at it, and that's when it kind of set the wheels in motion for me to want to rebuild the steam shovel.
Yeah, so real quick, just for anyone that's not up to speed, how did you even get involved or care about this shovel?
A quick story goes back to 1975 when my dad found out about it, and he has interested in getting it out. I was 11 years old in a boat when the diver, when Mike Furlow, was telling him where the shovel was at. So we were in a boat, and he had intentions of bringing it up out of the water by putting airbags underneath it and then getting a couple of barges and beams and hoisting it up and pulling the thing out. And actually the contractor that you'll see later in the video here, Land Clearing, was in the boat with us because he was going to help Dad do this. So it's still kind of kept everybody that was originally involved in it was still involved, which was really, really cool for me. So. But it was down there building the lake, like we said. It became stuck when they tried to move it up out of the way because they kind of painted themselves in a corner. There was really no way to get out other than up the embankment. So that was moved out of the way, the story goes, and became stuck. And this was at the end of October. So hunting season was just coming up. So the boys went hunting. When they come back, the water come up faster than what they thought. And that's where she was left to rest. And then I got ownership of it and then started going through all the proper paperwork with dealing with the government and everything else to try to get it out, and was able to do so and to save a piece of equipment. There's only mine and Bob Kelly, so there's only 2 of these machines left out of 575 or so made. So it was really important to try to save it, and it's a dream come true for me to be able to work on something like this. So this kind of brings us up to the 4-year anniversary when I had Land Clearing down there and had Bill Lang and Billy and Danny and Will, and they all come to help, and I had you and your brother and family and a lot of friends there to come watch and stuff. And this picture here kind of shows where we started removing the boom. We took the boom and the bucket off separately and put it on the ground, then removed the other half. And then this is kind of a neat shot because you can actually see the embankment in the back where it washed out. You can see the Wixom Lake Dam, and you can see where it washed out in reference to where this shovel was at and working. Is kind of give you a perspective of everything that happened and where it was at. And this is just basically rigging it up. We got cut the pin out of the boom and had a bunch of people kind of dig around it. We're just going to hook onto her now, and then we'll pop, like I said, we pop the boom off, set it on the ground, fold it up, put it on a trailer, and then hauled it out of the lake. And then we started working on the basement to try to get it out.
Do you think there's any chance that there's still something left behind there?
I do believe that there's still, because there's parts that are missing on the shovel. I've got one more year on my permit to dig, so I'm really hoping I'd like to go down there and dig in that area one more time and see if we can find, we still have not found a serial number plate. I'm missing some mounts for the drive shaft, because they removed the drive shaft so they could try to get it pulled out of the way. And because they actually found the drive shaft way off in another area. And back in 1924, you didn't have a service truck that you could park down there and pile all your stuff on. You just threw it on the ground. Yeah. And so I feel that there's still stuff laying there. So we're hoping to go. Really would like to go back and do one more dig to see if we can find anything else there. It was hard. We did a lot with metal detectors, but the house was all wood. So you got so many false readings with all the nails and everything else that was out there. But we have found some, there was cool stuff that we did find when we were going through that. Because I told everybody to save everything, and I don't have a picture of it, but we actually found the face plate for the pressure gauge was in a pile of stuff that I found. So it was kind of cool to have that and to find stuff like that. But no, I'd like to go back and dig one more time to see if there's anything out there. And this was kind of our first attempt to try to get the thing out. We thought the machine would actually pick it up. Thought the excavator would pick it up, but it wouldn't. But we got it rocked free from the muck, and then we ended up taking the spreader bar off and then just hooking on the front of it and just actually towing it out. And some of the other videos that are out there, you can see all four wheels actually rolled.
It was crazy that everything rolled.
But I mean, a lot of people were surprised that stuff rolled, but I personally wasn't, because if it was a 1907 and you're in 1924, the machine was wore out. And everything was brass or Babbitt bearings. So it's not like a standard car now that has tapered roller bearings in it. Yeah. And usually have anything that sits around just for a year, it's going to start getting rusted up, let alone set underwater for 95 years. But yeah, the roll was a cool sight. Yeah. And this is kind of a little bit backwards here, but this is where we kind of dug around it and kind of got a few other things around there. But it was cool. You can see me, of course, I'm always in the orange, so I had both my boys, Mike and Shane and you, all dressed in orange to help out. A few other people that are in the picture there. You can there's a guy in a cowboy hat that's Mike Furlow, the diver. He's up over in this corner over here.
Where at?
Right there.
Oh, right there, yeah.
And then over here by my wife down at the bottom, there's Tommy Kelly, my wife, and Bob Kelly. They made the trip from Pennsylvania to come watch it pulled out. So that was kind of cool too. And he said that when talking to him, we became really good friends. Is that he said that he wanted to be here for it. So
yeah, what's it been like having him as a mentor?
Oh, Bob and the whole Kelly family is absolutely great, because I go out there twice a year and help on their machine and run their machine when I get a chance to and stuff. But yeah, they've all got information. They've told me stuff that they've done, and I keep updating Bob on what's going on with mine and stuff like that. But no, it's always it's always a highlight of my year is to go out to the show in August and just hang with them for the whole weekend with the grandkids and Tom and Bob and Shirley and Gloria and all those people. It's just it's an awesome atmosphere just to go out there. And I do highly recommend, if anybody likes old equipment, to watch it run. The show out, the Pike National Steam and Tractor Show in Brownsville, Pennsylvania, is worth the trip to go out there just to see all the stuff that's saved and still running. The show that they put on is just extraordinary. This is some of the equipment that we had down there. Like I said, it was a big thanks to the Lang Tool Company to come out and help. Like I said, Bill Lang was in the boat with us in '75 because him and Dad were really good friends, and he was gonna help pull the thing out. And so when it come time to pulling the thing out, that was the first person I wanted to go ask if he was still interested in wanting to do this. Then now his sons were interested, and even his grandson was interested. So it was fun to have all those guys there to pull it out.
Generational thing, yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of, like I said, it's, 75 years later, I've got the same crew together that Dad had put together that was going to do this to pull it out. I mean, it was just all kind of really a neat feeling to do that.
Yeah.
And this is Bill Lang. He's the owner, and then you got me, and then his son, Bill Lang, and then Dan Lang. And we've been friends with the family for a long time, and it was a joy working with them and to get the thing out. The only one we was missing. It's too bad that my father wasn't still around to be here with this project, but
yeah.
I had him on the front of my shirt. I had a picture of my father on the front of my shirt just to bring him down there with us. So
yeah.
And this was after that's Tommy Kelly and Bob Kelly and I, after we got the lower half finally rolled out and put up on the trailer, and we were getting ready to leave the lake bed. So we got a quick shot by them, but it was cool. They were all over that machine. Tommy was all over that machine looking at stuff and different stuff. And there's, without finding the nameplate or the serial number plate, Bob Kelly's is a 1913, but there's so much stuff that I'm showing Bob that mine's got. He's saying it shouldn't be that way, and that we know that this is definitely an older machine than what his is. So we're thinking it's probably one of the earliest ones built, just the way the deck is flat and not tapered, and the wheels, I got no rollers, I got no adjustment on those, they're just flat. And there's a lot of other structural things that's been found on that's not the same. One thing that was cool though is that Bob Kelly has a steam shovel, and then he's also got an electric shovel that Thu made with the horizontal crowd. But it was called the automatic shovel because it had a way of kicking out the crowd as the boom went out the 5 foot and up. It would kind of be like an automatic kick out that would return to dig and go out and it'd stop the handle automatically. Well, he had a missing piece and he didn't know what he was missing to have. Well, my shovel had that missing piece. So now this can make 3 complete machines, because he's got the piece that I'm missing that I can copy. I had the piece that he needs to copy to make his machines complete. So it was so he was kind of excited about that. So we are working together to keep both machines as
accurate as possible.
Yeah. So this was some of the stuff I've got done over the summer. Is the upper frame that pivots, that holds your boiler, your steam engines, your controls, the platform that you work from, stuff like that. The beams were really rotted on this, and a lot of it was because the boiler sat in the back half, where you can see where it was really rotted out right in this area. But all the ash and stuff from the boiler and from the coal that you were using or wood would lay in that area, so it pretty much rotted it out more so than just being underwater. But each frame was broke in one spot and patched and welded. So I went through and reconstructed, made 2 new beams, sandblasted everything else, and all the steel there was replaced except for anything that that was still looked good, that was original, I'm going to use. You can see in the next picture of the pieces that I did use. So this has got all the new beams on it, and the pieces in the back that are bolted on. I'm gonna reuse all those. Everything is just bolted together right now. I've already got rivets, and we're going to hot rivet everything all back together to make it all back original. So that's gonna be fun. That'll be our next project. It's just, it's probably over the winter here is doing some riveting inside, and this is basically most of the parts. I got the upper half on the crane. On the lower half, the lower half is pretty much done, except for the surface that the upper half rolls on. I got that surface I got to build up.
Down about right
Yeah,
here.
all down and through there. The teeth are all good, but that flat surface that the upper half rolls on, I've got to build up the wheels, and I got to build up that. But I'm really looking, when I get that done, it's going to be exciting, because now I can mate those two halves together, leave them together, and now you can start putting the boiler on the back half. Now you can start putting the engines on there. Now you can start putting the controls on there. Start getting the hoist in the center, and it's really going to start looking like something. Off to the left, you can see the two boilers. The one with the flat plate on it there is the original boiler. That's the one that was on the machine, but it's in really rough shape to be reused. And the one that's sitting next to it, I'd purchased, and that is in good enough shape to put on the boiler, or to have for a boiler to go on there. So that was a big plus, to be able to find another boiler to drop on this thing the same size.
Yeah, and one of the things is, like, you're trying to be as historic as practicable, right? So you're not, like, to try and make that exact boiler might just be a pain, right?
No, you can do it. It's the pain of that. Is getting a new boiler like that is in your wallet.
Sure.
Because that's $30,000 to $35,000 to build that boiler, which would kill this project for me. So fortunately enough, Damon, a gentleman from the Mason Steam Club down in Lansing area, had a boiler that he sold me. So that's really going to help. So then the boom, we still got some work to do on the boom, but we've replaced a lot of steel on the boom. And but it's coming along. It's definitely what it looked like 4 years ago from that picture when we went down and seen it covered with zebra mussels. It's really starting to show itself as a crane, and what it's going to be. This is just another side view of it. You can get a better view of that flat surface that has to be fixed. Down below, just a little lower there.
Right there.
Right
I
there.
see. That's where it rolls out.
Yep, that's where the house rollers and stuff go.
So I can't. You do not have to build up any of these teeth at all?
No, the teeth
are all still fine?
Yep. Yeah,
That's
it's
pretty crazy.
surprising that, the teeth are all in really good shape. And then plus with that, there might be a little wear on them, but I can adjust that with the Babbitt, or where I put the shaft that comes down to drive that for my pivot gear to run around through there. So
I suppose not to mention, you probably don't need exact precision with something like
no,
this.
because we're not going into production. It's just going to be run nice and easy, and just so. And then it's a lot of stuff. One of the big things it's trying to do is to get it structurally sound and running. Then with being in Michigan, we got winter, so it's not going to be running in the winter. Now I can kind of go back and do a little bit of something else, and we can go back and we can kind of fix this now and make it better, and we can fix this and make it look better and stuff like that. But as much original as possible on this machine is what I'm shooting for.
Yeah.
I think this other picture is just another shot of you can see the bucket, the mounts in the back. Like I said, the boiler will sit on the very back right there where those mounts are at. Then the boom supports go from there up to help support the boom that's on the front. You can see the large gear in the back. That's the drive axle, so you can see where the bevel gear there, where the drive shaft goes up. It was because it was self-propelled. But no, it's starting Like I said, it's really starting to look like something after 4 years. Just another shot of the two boilers, that they're just about identical and same diameter, same height. So it should fit very nicely in place of that other one. Now this was a fun, in May when we went out to, my wife and I, Beth, went out to the show in Pennsylvania. We were going out to the early show, and I contacted the Lorraine Historical Society where the crane was made in Lorraine, Ohio, and talked to them and asked them, I says, because I asked them, I said, is any of the old factory still there? And she says, oh yeah, she says, but another company owns it. So I ended up getting a hold of the company, emailing them and asked them, telling them what I was doing, and says, is there any chance of just setting foot on the property where this shovel was made? And they said, of course. So I stopped in there, and you can see the old factory in the background, that they're still utilizing some of the building. But the cool thing is when he took me out, because Thu Shovel Company was bought out by Lorraine, and it became the Lorraine Crane Company, the Thu Lorraine, and then it just became Lorraine. But this was the entrance to the main office, this big granite slab, this big slab out front. And so just to stand on that where the main office was and stuff like that for the Lorraine Crane Company was pretty cool to do that. So we did that on our way out.
Was it the Lorraine Crane Company produced the Thu shovels? Is that how it worked?
No, Thu was just a separate company all by itself. Then it was Lorraine purchased part of them and then kind of took it over. Then because it was the Thu Lorraine Company, I believe it was, and then finally it just went to Lorraine Crane. And then Lorraine got bought out by Coring Cranes, and then Coring got bought out by Terex, I believe now is so Terex is now
a brand that still exists, right?
Yeah, but they're based out of Texas. But to go to the old factory and see this and then walk around the factory and walk around some of the old buildings was pretty cool to set foot and do that. So this was one of the stacks there in the old buildings, but it was just to set foot where the shovel, knowing that this is where the shovel was made, was pretty cool.
And didn't they have pictures or?
No, this is at the when I set up the meeting with the Lorraine Historical Society, they had they opened up the filing cabinets and let me go through and look at. I mean, there was just drawers of Thu shovels and some of the unique things that I found. I mean, I was showing Bob Kelly some of the creative stuff that they were doing with the Thus back in the day. It's just really neat. I want to go back here because I could spend all day looking at pictures of the old stuff. But yeah, they were very, very nice people to work with there at the Historical Society and to show me what they got. But yeah, I want to make another visit there to get to look at some of the pictures, and I took pictures of some of the cranes just to kind of have myself just to kind of look at. But it was really a cool, fun weekend to do that. Then to go out to Pennsylvania, then to go help on Bob's for the rest of the weekend. Mm-hmm. And then this kind of was a cool thing with the social media and everything, because one thing Bob Kelly told me is that if my 3 steam engines were junk, I'm just going to build a model because you'll never find any more steam engines. But if my steam engines were good, you can build a complete crane because you've got one. Well, thankfully, my 3 engines are good, but with the social media and the where anybody can view this thing, it's just amazing because the large engine there, the 2 green engines there, but the large one there, a little bit farther. That's a large one. Yeah. A gentleman down in Mason down there, Larry Barson, sent me a video of an engine, something like that. He said he was going to make like a doodle bug, kind of a steam powered little car or something. And he sent me the video of that. So I called him up and I says, whose is it and how much you want for it? And he said, we don't even know what to come out of. I says, the TAS right on the valve chest clearly it's a through automatic shovel company. So that's my large engine. So did a little persuasion with him to persuade him to, but he did sell it to me. So that's a large engine. So, and then the second engine, when you and I did the video, I think it was during Christmas.
Yeah.
We did a video, and a guy commented on there about, I've got something like that. He says, can you give me any information? So I told him, I says, please give me a call and go over there. The gentleman's name was John Barkley, and he's down I believe, kind of in the Kentucky area. So as we talked on the phone, him and a friend of his are building a miniature steam tractor. So I asked him, I says, well, how far along are you in your project? He said, oh, we're just, we're going. I said, well, I got to ask. I says, is that for sale? And he says, he talked to his buddy, and he said, well, he says, if anybody should have that engine, I should have it. So I was grateful for that. So this would be one of the small engines. There was one large engine and two small ones on there. But he told me, but I just need an engine for my tractor that we're going to build. So I found a guy in Ohio, Dale Carnes, and went down and seen him, bought a single cylinder engine from him, threw it in the truck, went down and met up with John, and we swapped the two engines in the mall parking lot and to get it back. But so now I've got two engines, which will speed up my process because I don't have to rebuild all three of them. I'm just going to rebuild one small one. I'll drop these two on, and then, like I said, just get the crane going. Then I can go through, and then I can rebuild the two others, and then swap them out and put the originals back in, and pull these out, and have two spares.
So these guys are ready to work, right? Like they're
ready
to
yep.
rob.
The one with the red flywheels on it needs all the new hardware put in it because someone was doing something. But no, they run on air right now. They're all good, tight. They're all ready to go. So.
Oh, that's
so it's. But all in all, the project is still excites me to go out in the garage to go work on it and to keep going. So it's I enjoy it, and the people that are following the whole thing is just simply amazing. Where everybody's coming from with the web page, with the WixomLakeSteamShovel.com. You showed me how to look at the analytics and stuff like that, and I think I showed you the one time there was 28 countries currently watching this, and so I hope people can continue to watch this and keep going. It's
well. So what's next? What do you got next on your to-do list?
The big thing is now is hopefully this winter is I got to get that deck done and the wheels, because I need to get those and make those two halves, and then that can be done. And I got all the wood there. You helped me a couple years ago. We cut all the wood, and it's all dry. And I'm on maybe this summer is build the house for it and get the house done, stuff like that, to where we can once that upper half is on there, and then we can set the house on it to make it look like a crane. So, but there's work on the boom, but to get those two halves made together is my goal this year to get done. So,
what have been some of your biggest challenges that you faced over the last 4 years?
The big challenge is still going to be machining that surface, because it's got to be the center pin that comes up. It's got to be square with that. It's got to be flat. So that's still going to be a challenge to try to figure out how I'm going to make some sort of machine to do that. I've already got an idea to do it, so, and I feel confident it's going to work. So, and do that, then everything else I can do in the lathe. But really, it hasn't really been no big snags. I probably spend a lot of time trying to figure out how it was done back then. I mean, because the steel, when you helped me the one day there, when we were making the steel and stuff like that, we were making special cuts all by hand because they didn't have a plas torch and all this other stuff to cut out that stuff. So I wanted to try to get the joints and stuff to look exactly like the ones that we replaced. So we figured out how to do that, and but it's yeah, it's fun, and I'm really looking forward to getting this thing done and playing in the dirt someplace myself, because that's ideally the one place that it really needs to be. Is it needs to get done and go to Pennsylvania and sit side by side. If Bob can get his electric one done, if we can put the 2 steam shovels and electric one all side by side digging in a hill would just be an awesome sight to be part of.
Yeah. So how can people support this project if they want to?
They can go to, there's a PayPal set up on the website, on the WixomLakeSteamShovel.com. You can go there, and there's a PayPal that if you want to make donations to the project, 100% of the donations go to the project. We've got into talks to kind of help generate some money and stuff like that. There's maybe possibly selling some shirts with the logo on the back. With probably should be a little more prepared and get it so you could see it.
Yeah.
But if you go to the website and
you can turn around and show what you're.
If it shows or not. But it was kind of a neat design that we got for what I once was and what I will be again. But that's kind of, we want to do it, but that takes an awful lot of time towards doing this. So we'll just see. Right now it's keep the shovel build going. Get as often as we can get you down and your brother to work together with me on it is always fun. And
well, and I suppose and you already said it, one of the biggest things is if you happen to be watching this video and you're like, man, I have a piece of steam thing. Like, I don't think there would ever be a reason why you wouldn't want someone to reach out to you and
no, absolutely, yeah, because the Wixom Lake, what is it, Wixom Lake Steam Shovel at gmail.com is where you can reach out to that. It's also on Facebook. You can go to Facebook, Wixom Lake Steam Shovel on Facebook, and you can message me there. But any steam related, because there are a lot of stuff that I still need to get, is because you got to have steam injectors to put water back into the boiler under pressure, and then some other, maybe other valves and stuff like that. So I'm constantly kind of picking up stuff as I go. But if anybody's got anything kind of steam related or thinks they've got something like this sitting out there and stuff like that, yeah, please contact me. It's hard to find this stuff, and if we can find it, we want to try to salvage it and save it from going to the scrap and let it go. So it's not going to go to waste, because that's even all the scrap steel that I've pulled off the machine. People said, well, boy, that boiler and all that steel, that's money you can take to scrap and get to do this, but I'm going to clear coat all that stuff, and for me, I want to still save. Sure. I want to still save all the stuff I took off that. Just to, how long it lays around, who knows? But I still want to keep the original part in display. The steel's over 100 years old, yeah. So to try to keep it that way. So one day it'll be sitting in your yard.
That's right.
You can go through all this stuff, but no, it's fun. But I hope people enjoy following this, and please, message me, send me an email if you've got any stories or anything else, or got anything. I love to read that.
Yeah.
Read the stories of what's going on.
Yeah, it's interesting. Just so we're all the way up in the Keweenaw of the UP, and my wife works at a place called Chicken Tramper, and just learned that her boss has been following this project all the way up here. Yeah, so it's crazy the amount of growth and attention the project's gotten. So.
Yeah, but it was, like I said, the steam shovel, when it was in the lake, people knew about it the whole time.
Yeah.
When I was getting emails of people that said, back in the 60s when we used to go to Grandma and Grandpa's house, we used to take a boat and go out there, and we'd jump out of the boat and have contests to see who could touch the boom.
Yeah.
So people knew where it was at, and it was always out there. So, but then another thing that's really fun with this project is the McKimmey family is I'm still friends with the grandkids of the original owner of Charlie's grandkids and stuff like that. So to bring up history, for their family itself is a lot of fun to do that, and they find it very interesting. So, but with a piece of history for Wixom Lake to be down there, a piece of history for antique people of something there's only a couple left of that is getting rebuilt and salvaged and then for me, I started out as always loved steam trains, and then I've always liked heavy equipment. So to have this fall on my lap and be able to do it, it's just like I said, it's a dream come true for me. Yeah. And it's my everybody's got their relaxation thing they like to do, whether it's sitting out in the sun or playing in the pool. Mine is go and put some Led Zeppelin on the radio, open up a PBR, and just go out in the shop
stuff. Yeah.
and just go work out in the shop for a few hours. Just my stress
Happy
reliever.
place.
Yep, my happy place.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing around.
Thank you. We'll get this. I hope everybody enjoys this video. And like I said, you got any comments or anything? There'll be comments on the video. Both of Shane and I will be checking in on those and reply back. But go to the website, go to the Facebook page, hit the like button, and anything that I post and update on there, you'll automatically get dinged on it, and where you can help follow easier. So, once again, thank you for all the support, and we'll just keep going away.
Cool, yeah.